last game that we're going to get to is the Rams beating the Vikings 27-9. And I wanted to start out by talking about this one because Uncle Manny earlier said, Shaun, sorry for the loss of your friend. I really appreciate that, Uncle Manny. And the reason why I wanted to start this off is so on Saturday, I went to Fresno for my friend Eric's funeral. He was a friend that I met in college at the State Hornet on the student newspaper at Sac State. We became good friends. In all honesty, we weren't best friends or anything. The last time I saw him, we went to a Sac State football game together in fall 2023. But we would text all throughout 2024, and we talked more than we ever did. He would always send me stupid, funny texts that would just make me laugh. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Eric on today's podcast. But why this is relevant to what we're going to talk about right now is Eric is and was a Los Angeles Rams fan. He absolutely loved to troll all of his 49er fan friends, even though the 49ers owned the Rams for years. And throughout our entire friendship, or most of our friendship, I was able to troll him and say, 49ers own them. Like, you can say whatever you want. The 49ers own them, except for that 2021 NFC Championship game. And I was so frustrated by that NFC Championship game because during that whole streak, the 49ers lost the one game that truly mattered, that had championship implications on the line. And now looking back on it, I'm glad that the Rams won that game because my friend was able to see his team win a Super Bowl before he ultimately he passed away at 28 years old because he had meningitis. And so it was just a very sad situation. And now my point in saying all this is I wanted to give a shout out to Eric, honor my friend, but also I can't believe I'm saying this as a 49ers fan, and it kind of turns my stomach to even think it, but I'm rooting for the Rams to win the Super Bowl this year. Like I'm rooting for them because I want to see them win the Super Bowl in my friend's honor. They are going to be running into a behemoth, as I have said numerous times. Like, the Eagles are elite, and so it's going to be tough for the Rams, but we saw them take inspiration from all the tragedy that's been going on in Southern California with the fires, and they absolutely beat the brakes off of the Vikings 27-19 yesterday. And the last thing that I'll say about this is that I totally forgot coming into this game that Kevin O'Connell was a part of the Shaun McVay coaching tree. And if I had remembered that, I probably would have picked the Rams like I know Kevin did. Toddy, I believe you picked the Rams as well. And so I probably would have jumped on that Rams bandwagon and picked against the Vikings if I had remembered that, but I didn't. And so, Kevin, when you see me picking the Rams against the Eagles this week, there's definitely a heavy dose of politicking. I'd say like 50% politicking and Hayden, but also 50% for Eric, that I'm just going to rock with the Rams for the rest of this run. And so Rams beat the Vikings 27-9 in Arizona, no less. But Kevin, what were your observations for your team's future opponent?
You can definitely tell that it's a copycat league. The Rams defensive coordinator saw the Sunday night terror game, Tower of Terror game that Sam Darnold played against the Lions. Blitzing them nonstop and saying, we're going to lock up outside and we're going to dare Sam Darnold to beat us. Coming into this game, everyone knows my good friend Wes. He's feeling real good. He's Kevin, we're going to see you guys in a couple of weeks. I'm like, man, you got Sam Darnold. I don't know. I don't know how good. I don't know how many dances you guys can pull out to make it to the next round. You gotta win football games to make it to the next round. And unfortunately, just ran into a buzzsaw. This Rams defense is really legit. And I know I'm going to say a lot of things about them in the Eagles game and how I don't think they're going to be any good, but they made the Vikings look like a JV team out there. 9 sacks is insane. And I know that a lot of people are going to say that when Sam Darnold threw the ball down, it should have been an interception. That changes the whole game. I get it. It was only 10-3 at that point. Sam Darnold cost himself $50 million. They used to say Dennis Schroeder was crazy for walking away from 80. Sam Darnold just pissed away 50. And now the question is, who's going to take a chance on Sam Darnold? Because the Vikings are like, you know what? 14 wins, most in history. Thank you so much. But there's the door. We got J.J. McCarthy coming in. Do we think J.J. McCarthy's going to be any good? Only time will tell. Sam Darnold is very young. He's only 27 years old. But for him to go out there and have the best season of his life and go out there in his very first playoff game and kind of turn back to Sam Darnold that we all know and love, it hurt to see. But unfortunately, it's a copycat league, and now every time someone plays Sam Darnold, they're going to blitz him and see if he can handle it because he's holding on to the ball for too long and he is throwing the ball away, can't take care of the ball, he's fumbling, and you just can't do that. And like he said in his game presser, the better team won today, and it just wasn't them, unfortunately.
Toddy, what was your observations from seeing our division rival absolutely handle the Vikings?
Sam Darnold, you are a Las Vegas Raider. No, I just
yes.
The Rams.
Not the Rams. I think Kevin kind of pointed it out. You saw early Sam Darnold was not able to handle the pressure, holding the ball on for too long. I mean, I think the Rams set like a record with like 9 sacks in a playoff game. That's insane. I thought what they should have done, once they saw that Darnold wasn't really handling the pressure well, they should have, basically got rid of, eliminating the pressure situation by just getting quick passes to guys like Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, one of the best duos and wide receiver duos in the league. But that wasn't really the case. The Rams were able to force turnovers. We saw Jared Verse, who is probably going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, as me and Kevin have, chatted about a couple of times. I thought he made an impact on the game. I thought Stafford, Puka looked like as good as it's been the entire season. Haven't really seen too much of Cooper Kupp this year. They're going to need him for sure next week. But I think, this Rams team was able to capitalize off turnovers. They were able to pressure Sam Darnold. And I thought that was pretty much the key in the game. I thought coaching was pretty neck and neck, but I would have gave the, advantage to McVay. I thought the Rams had the quarterback advantage. I thought going into the game, the Vikings had the better defense, just based off what I've seen throughout the entire year. I thought the Rams were playing really well as of late, but I thought as the year as a whole, the Vikings were playing better on defense. But I mean, it's tough. Kind of going back to the Chargers game, or even the Eagles game, when your defense is able to force multiple turnovers, you're going to be heavily favored to win those games. I think it's tough, man, because we saw Sam Darnold play really well the entire year, 14 wins, had a chance to get the number 1 seed, and they didn't really perform. And it kind of sucks too, because we kind of saw it. It all kind of came falling down in 2 weeks. Last week, he kind of shit the bed, and it carried over into this week, and he kind of shit the bed. I even said it on before last week's game. On last week's pod, we were kind of talking about Sam Darnold and what it's going to look like. Like, if he plays like he did against the Lions, he's going to lose a lot of money. Now, $50 million is insane. I never thought he would have even gotten, even if he played well in both of these games, I still don't think he would have gotten 50 on the open market. He's going to get closer to a Baker contract. That's kind of what the contract I was thinking he would get out. Baker's getting 30 plus a year, which is solid. But I think that's the range he's going to be. I think teams like the Raiders, maybe the Saints, Titans. Yeah. Maybe the Giants. I'm not sure. The Jets reunion. But I mean,
that'd be hilarious.
Those are like the teams that are out there. Maybe guys that dropped a quarterback, bridge guy. That's the type of lane that he's in.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. As that now concludes our NFL wildcard round recap.